You think suffering is your enemy. You've learned to avoid it, to heal it, to silence it. But listen carefully. Suffering is the foundry. Pain is your hammer and your weak point. It's raw steel waiting to be forged. Every wound you've endured, every betrayal you've swallowed, every humiliation you've endured was never meant to break you. It was meant to strip you of everything, to burn away your tenderness, to reveal the truth. No one comes to save you. Comfort is the silent killer. Comfort is the slow poison. Men drown in softness, suffocated by the pillows of modern life. But you're not here to drown. You're here to rise through the fire, to take the pain that drives most men to cowardice, and to transform it into a weapon that makes you untouchable. Today, I will show you how to turn suffering into steel. How to take betrayal, loss, humiliation, and pain, and transform them into the cold power that Machiavelli himself understood as the law of survival and dominance. This is Machiavelli's Code, where we strip away illusions and reveal the ruthless principles of power, discipline, and self-mastery. If you're ready to stop being controlled by pain and instead weaponize it, make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button and leave a comment to join the brotherhood of men who refuse to stay broken. 1. The forge of pain. Every wound you've carried was never punishment. It was preparation. Life doesn't waste pain. Every scar, every sleepless night, every betrayal, every failure, it all served a purpose. Pain is not your enemy. It is not here to destroy you. Pain is the hammer that strikes the weakness out of you. It is the fire that burns away illusions and leaves only the truth. Soft men crumble when the storm comes. They seek comfort, and in their comfort, they rot slowly, quietly, without even realizing it. But those who endure the fire rise sharper, harder, unshakable. They may walk through hell, but they walk out forged like steel. Machiavelli understood this. He knew that strength is never born from luxury. Necessity, not comfort, creates strength. It is when your back is against the wall, when no one comes to save you, when every door is shut, that you discover the iron hidden inside you. The world is ruthless. It does not reward softness. It does not honor ease. It honors those who can carry pain without breaking, those who can stand tall when others bow down. And here is the truth most never want to hear. Comfort kills quietly, while pain builds loudly. Comfort whispers lies that you are safe, that you are strong, that you have enough. Pain tells you the truth, that you are not finished, that you must grow, that you are still becoming. So do not curse your wounds. Do not despise the moments that tore you apart. They were not the end of you. They were the shaping of you. Every blow you took was a lesson. Every scar is proof you endured. Every heartbreak is the reminder that you are still alive, still breathing, still capable of rising again. The fire is not your enemy. The hammer is not your enemy. The struggle is not your enemy. They are your teachers. They are your preparation. They are the reason you will rise where others fall. 2. Weak men run, strong men endure. Weak men spend their lives chasing comfort, soft beds, easy pleasures, the illusion of safety. They run from pain, avoid hardship, and choose the easy path every time. But the truth is simple. The world devours comfort seekers. Look at history. Every empire, no matter how powerful, collapsed not because of enemies alone, but because its men grew too soft, too weak, too addicted to ease. Strength withers when it is never tested. Do you want to be untouchable? Do you want to rise above the masses who crumble under pressure? Then stop running from suffering. Stop fearing discomfort. Step into it willingly, because it is only through pain that you are sharpened. Train your body to endure what others cannot. Train your mind to hold steady when others break apart. Discipline is not built in comfort. It is born in struggle, in the moments you wish to quit, but don't. The weak man looks for escape in pleasure, but the strong man seeks growth in difficulty. The weak man asks for an easier life, but the strong man asks for a stronger back. Weakness hides in luxury. Strength is revealed in necessity. When life strips you bare, when everything is taken from you, that is when your true nature is revealed. Remember this. Comfort is not freedom. It is a cage with invisible bars. It lulls you into a false sense of safety while slowly killing your spirit. Pain, on the other hand, is the key that unlocks your potential. It is the test that separates those who merely exist from those who truly live. A man who can endure suffering without breaking cannot be controlled. He cannot be manipulated. He becomes untouchable. So embrace the cold when others hide from it. Embrace the weight when others drop it. Embrace the silence when others cannot sit with their thoughts. Every time you choose discipline over indulgence, every time you choose the harder road, you carve strength into your very being. Do not fear suffering. Fear the slow death of a comfortable life. Fear the weakness that grows in softness. Because when the storm comes, and it always comes, the world will not care how comfortable you once were. It will only care whether you can stand or whether you will fall. 3. Kill attachment. Machiavelli once wrote, "He who depends on others is already weak." These words cut sharper than a blade because they reveal a truth most men spend their lives avoiding. Attachment is the leash that keeps men enslaved. You think you are free, but you cling to people, to possessions, to status, to illusions, and in that clinging, you surrender your power. You don't own them. They own you. Everything you love can be taken. Every person, every treasure, every comfort, every title. It can all be stripped from your hands in a single moment. And when it is gone, if your identity collapses, if your strength vanishes, then you were never strong to begin with. You were only decorated in borrowed armor, mistaking it for your own skin. This is why the ancients warned against dependency. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the man who needs nothing cannot be broken. Seneca taught that fortune can strip away riches, but it cannot strip away virtue. Machiavelli himself understood that rulers bound to the approval of others were already doomed. History shows the same pattern. Men tied too tightly to what they cannot control are men destined to fall. The solution is ruthless, but it is the only path to true strength. Kill attachment. Do not chain your soul to what can be stolen. Stand willingly in the cold void of independence. It will terrify you at first, because most men cannot bear the silence of self-reliance. But in that silence, you will discover freedom. Love without dependence. To love is human, but to need is weakness. Possess without worship. Enjoy what you hold, but do not kneel to it. Lead as if tomorrow you could lose it all, because one day you will. Power, wealth, even relationships, they are passing shadows. They are not you. Only when you no longer cling, only when you stand ready to lose everything without losing yourself, will you be untouchable. That is freedom. That is strength. Not the strength that boasts, not the strength that needs recognition, but the strength that remains when all else is stripped away. The world cannot enslave a man who owns nothing, not because he has nothing, but because nothing owns him. 4. Betrayal is your teacher. Betrayal is not an accident. It is a law of power. Where ambition lives, betrayal follows. Friends will fracture when envy grows in their hearts. Allies will turn cold the moment loyalty costs them more than they are willing to pay. Lovers, too, will withhold devotion when their desires outweigh their promises. To expect eternal loyalty in a world driven by self-interest is to set yourself up for collapse. Weak men collapse when betrayed. They cry out, they break, they drown in bitterness. But strong men, they sharpen. Every knife in your back is proof that you are dangerous enough to warrant treachery. No one betrays the harmless. No one plots against the insignificant. Betrayal is the tax of influence, the shadow that follows strength, and every scar it leaves becomes a piece of armor, a reminder that trust is precious, and survival belongs to those who rely first on themselves. Do not curse betrayal. Do not waste your breath asking why it happened. Thank it, because betrayal is the great revealer. It shows you who is weak, who is false, and who cannot be trusted when the weight of reality presses down. It cuts through illusion and forces you into self-reliance. A man betrayed learns the lesson that no philosophy can teach. The only fortress you can truly depend on is the one you build within yourself. Machiavelli wrote that men are ungrateful, fickle, false, cowardly, covetous. Harsh, but true. The Stoics, too, reminded us that what belongs to others is never truly ours, not their loyalty, not their affection, not even their word. When betrayal comes, it is not the universe conspiring against you. It is simply human nature unfolding as it always has. So embrace it. Wear your scars like medals. Let the knives that pierced you remind you that you were never weak enough to be ignored. The world may betray you, but if you stand through it, unshaken, you rise above those bound by illusion. The man who survives betrayal without bitterness, who builds strength from the ruins of trust, becomes unbreakable. Betrayal is not the end. It is the unveiling. And once you see the truth, you cannot be deceived again. 5. Command your emotions. The man who cannot control his emotions is already a slave. He may walk freely, speak proudly, even command others, but within he is bound. Rage, fear, lust, each one a chain. The angrier he becomes, the easier he is to provoke. The more fearful he is, the easier he is to control. The more lustful he is, the easier he is to deceive. His enemy doesn't need to fight him. His enemy only needs to pull the right chain. Machiavelli's law is simple. The true ruler is not he who conquers armies, but he who conquers himself. The battlefield of the mind is greater than any war fought with swords or guns, for the man who rules himself cannot be conquered by others. You must learn to become calm in chaos, to sit still when storms rise, to hold your tongue when others shout, to think when others react. Anger must not consume you. It must become strategy, sharpened into a weapon you wield only when necessary. Fear must not paralyze you. It must transform into caution, making you precise where others are reckless. Desire must not enslave you. It must turn into discipline, giving you mastery over yourself where others are mastered by impulse. This is power, the silent authority of the man no one can read, no one can manipulate, no one can bend. He does not waste energy in outbursts. He does not beg for approval. He does not reveal weakness in desperate displays of emotion. He is unshakable, and because no one can predict him, no one can control him. The weak man will always be at the mercy of his own nature. The strong man reshapes his nature into a tool. The weak man reacts to the world. The strong man makes the world react to him. Remember this: armies fall, wealth fades, beauty dies, but self-mastery cannot be taken from you. It is the one crown no enemy can steal, and when you wear it, you carry a power greater than kings, a power that makes you untouchable, unbreakable, and free. 6. Turn pain into discipline. Motivation fades. Discipline does not. Motivation is a spark, bright for a moment, but gone as quickly as it came. It is unreliable. It abandons you when you need it most. But discipline, that is a flame you build with your own hands. It does not flicker with mood or vanish with fatigue. It remains steady and cold, even when you no longer feel inspired. Discipline is born in suffering. It is forged in the moments most men run from, the mornings when exhaustion chains you to the bed, yet you rise anyway. The nights when your body begs you to stop, yet you take another step forward. The temptations that claw at you, whispering for indulgence, and you deny them, even though every nerve screams for release. This is where discipline is born, not in comfort, not in ease, but in resistance. Pain is the training ground. It is the forge where weakness is burned out of you. Every repetition in discomfort, every refusal of temptation, every sacrifice of ease builds another brick in the fortress of discipline. Weak men numb their pain with distraction, with pleasure, with excuses. Strong men weaponize it. They take the sting of suffering and turn it into fuel. What breaks others builds them. Understand this. Discipline is not glamorous. It is not dramatic. It is silent, invisible, relentless. While the world sleeps, discipline works. While others complain, discipline advances. While motivation dies, discipline remains. And over time, this steady grind creates something terrifying: consistency. Consistency is what makes average men extraordinary. It is what takes fragile ambition and turns it into unshakable reality. The weak man looks for comfort. The strong man looks for control. And the one who builds discipline within himself becomes untouchable, because no force, no hunger, no fatigue, no temptation can bend him. He has already bent himself, shaped himself, mastered himself. Remember this: pain is not your enemy. It is your instructor. Motivation is not your strength. It is your illusion. Discipline is your only true ally, the fortress no storm can tear down. And once it is built, nothing and no one can take it from you. 7. Silence is authority. Noise is weakness. Words are exposure. The more you talk, the more you reveal your fears, your intentions, your vulnerabilities. A man who cannot remain silent is already giving away pieces of himself. Every unnecessary word is a window for others to peer through, to study, to exploit. Silence, on the other hand, unsettles. It commands. It creates space where others grow nervous, where their own words betray them instead. A man who speaks rarely forces the world to lean closer, to wonder what he is thinking, to give him their attention without him asking for it. The less you give, the more powerful what you do give becomes. Machiavelli knew this truth. He understood that true rulers do not spill their thoughts carelessly. They hold them like weapons, sharp and hidden, ready to be drawn only when the strike matters. To reveal nothing, yet project everything, that is mastery. The man who masters silence does not need to beg for authority. It radiates from him. Look to nature. Lions do not roar constantly. They do not need to. Their presence alone commands respect, even fear. It is their silence, their stillness, their aura, that makes the ground tremble before they even move. A roar is rare, and because it is rare, it is unforgettable. Become that lion. Stop scattering your power through constant words, through endless explanations, through needless exposure. Let your silence speak. Let your presence be the weight that fills the room. When you do speak, let each word strike like steel, measured, deliberate, impossible to ignore. The world listens to noise only for entertainment, but it obeys silence. 8. Detach to dominate. The man who is attached can always be controlled. Fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of poverty. These are chains, invisible yet heavy. The man who clings lives in constant anxiety because his worth is tied to what can be taken away. His enemies need not fight him. They only need to threaten what he fears losing, and he will bend. He is not free. He is owned. But the man who can walk away from anything, he is untouchable. Nothing can be used against him because nothing defines him. He does not beg for approval. He does not kneel to wealth. He does not tremble at rejection. He knows that all things, people, possessions, positions, are temporary. To hold them loosely is to never be broken when they slip away. Detachment is not apathy. It is not the absence of love or ambition. It is power. It is clarity. It is freedom. To love without clinging is to truly love, because you do not possess, you appreciate. To work without obsession is to truly achieve, because you are not blinded by fear of failure. Detachment clears the fog. It allows you to see things as they are, not as you wish them to be. Own everything. Be owned by nothing. This is the essence of strength. Possess wealth, but do not worship it. Share love, but do not depend on it. Pursue ambition, but do not let it consume your soul. Let everything around you be an addition to your life, not the foundation of it. For the foundation must be you, and you alone. The man who detaches is not cold, he is free, and freedom is the greatest power a man can hold. Because when nothing owns you, nothing controls you, and the man who cannot be controlled is the man the world must bow to. 9. Fear as leverage. Machiavelli warned, "It is safer to be feared than loved." Harsh words, but true. Love fades. Fear endures. Love depends on emotion, and emotions are fickle, changing with time, circumstance, and self-interest. People may love you today and betray you tomorrow, but fear, when rightly earned, does not vanish so easily. It anchors respect in the minds of others, even when affection dies. But do not mistake this for cruelty. True power is not found in needless harshness. It is not about raging or destroying everything in your path. It is about presence, about consistency, about the certainty that disrespect toward you will always carry a cost. People must know, without you needing to say it, that your boundaries are iron, that your principles cannot be trampled, and that betrayal has consequences. Weak men beg for love. They crave approval. They bend. They yield. They perform to be liked. But in their desperate hunger to be loved, they lose themselves. And in the end, even those who once loved them lose respect, because neediness always breeds contempt. Strong men demand respect. They do not beg for it. They embody it. They speak little, but their presence speaks volumes. They do not chase love, but love may follow them. They do not seek validation, because their worth is not handed to them by others. It is rooted in who they are and what they will never compromise. Fear, in this sense, is not terror. It is recognition. It is the quiet understanding that you cannot be pushed, cannot be toyed with, cannot be disrespected without cost. It is the unshakable aura of a man who carries himself with authority. Love is fragile. Respect, born of strength, endures. And when others know that your respect matters more than their affection, you will never be ruled by their shifting emotions. You will rule yourself, and through yourself, command the world. 10. The law of transformation. This is the final truth. Transformation is not given, it is taken. It is born in suffering, sustained in discipline, and crowned in detachment. The world will not hand you strength. It will test you, break you, and force you to decide whether you rise or collapse. Every scar you carry is not a curse, but a mark, an engraving of your becoming. It is proof that you endured what others could not. But here lies the choice. Weak men suffer and stay broken. They drown in their pain, wear it like chains, and beg for sympathy. They remain trapped in the same patterns, refusing to rise because rising demands sacrifice. Strong men, however, suffer and use their suffering as fire. They emerge harder, colder, unshakable. They understand that pain is not an enemy. It is the forge. The law of life is brutal. Bury your old self. Burn the boy. Carve the man. The softer version of you. The one that sought comfort. The one that feared rejection. The one that lived for approval. Must die. There is no growth without destruction. No strength without the burial of weakness. Discipline becomes your anchor. When desire calls, you silence it. When fear whispers, you walk through it. When comfort tempts, you reject it. Slowly, you shape yourself into a man who cannot be moved by circumstance, a man who is no longer a prisoner of his emotions. And then comes detachment, the crown. to own nothing and let nothing own you, to love without clinging, to give without begging, to walk away from anyone or anything that threatens your clarity. This is not coldness. It is power. The man who needs nothing cannot be broken. So rise through suffering. Do not hide from it. Use it. Let it carve away everything weak and false. Become untouchable, not because life spared you, but because you endured what it threw at you and stood taller. That is transformation. That is freedom. Remember this. Suffering is not a curse. It is the fire that forges steel. Weak men let pain break them. Strong men let pain shape them. Every scar you carry is not a wound, but proof that you survived what should have destroyed you. So stop asking, why me? And start asking, what now? Burn the old self. Rise through the ashes. Reinvent yourself into someone the world cannot touch, cannot control, cannot break. This was Machiavelli's code. If this message spoke to you, don't just watch and forget. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment about the suffering that has shaped you. Together, we turn pain into power. Together, we become untouchable.